Hey, greetings and salutations. This is Fred. I'm the drummer from the band Colored Animal, and I'm sitting here with Mr. Greg Reimer, the bass player. How's it going, Greg?
Good, Fred.
Excellent. We're hanging out here in the factory studios where we're currently in the process of mixing our self-titled debut. We can't wait for you guys to hear it. So, Greg, this is about you. We're going to find out a little bit about you today. Let's start with an easy one. Give me a defining childhood memory where music really kind of took hold of your life.
The family organ, both a positive and negative. I quit on my third piece. Please Release Me by Engelbert Humperdinck. I couldn't finish it. I really couldn't. But then the bass pedals on the organ inspired me, and I learned a Jello commercial that I had heard as a kid, and I went over to the organ and figured out the Jello commercial on the bass pedals, and some 5 or 6 years later, picked up the bass guitar and never looked back.
Nice, excellent. Now, a lot of people will find this out afterwards, but the way that the band came together was that we all kind of met up through mutual appreciation of the Tragically Hip. We formed a Tragically Hip tribute. Now, you came into the band as being a bit of a new introduction, a new fan to the hip. What do you think you learned the most by playing the music and playing those songs as far as getting ready to play originals?
That I didn't have to be overtly busy with my ideas and my rhythms. I listened to lots of prog when I was younger, and so lots of busyness all over the place. Gord Sinclair has just a wonderfully solid approach to the bass, where he really holds the fort, so much of the time, and when he, diverges into some, idea of his, he always does it in a good place or at a good time, so that it doesn't, train wreck the band or the idea or the main motifs of the song. He's a patient bass player.
Very tasteful. He knows where to put his moments.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So that was a good education for me.
Excellent. In the band that you currently play in, what do you think is your most important role in playing the bass?
Trying to capture some of those same aspects to give a solid foundation. For me, I want to understand that even though this is a rock band, it might even be classified as a hard rock band or an alternative rock band, that all of my influences, my Latin influences and my jazz influences and things like that, I'm always curious as ways to find space for small ideas and small tributes that I can pay to musicians and influences in other genres.
Nice. How has this recording experience changed or influenced you as a player, as far as being able to hear your music being played back to you in this context now?
I've never been so terrible for me to be blowing my own horn, but I've never been so satisfied with the work and the effort that I've put in, and working with really quality people here at the factory studios. They just make everything that we do sound really great, but at the same time, we've worked really hard to give them really great stuff. And to be able to hear myself really critically, to fuss over some things, to go back and re-record some things. There's a little bit of fretless playing on the album, which I was very happy I could pull off at the last second, of course.
Nice. That's good. Last question. Where do you foresee, or maybe you don't, as far as playing in the future, your style of music and the things that you're the concepts that you're trying to flesh out as you work through new songs on the bass and stuff like that, what do you see yourself, like, what areas do you see yourself wanting to focus the most? I guess another way of putting it is, what areas do you think you want to improve as you go?
you know, from doing lots of editing of my bass tracks, I've still got ways to go in terms of timing and chops to make sure that those are solid and dependable.
His chops kick ass. Don't worry about it.
You know, not just on recording, but live as well. And that's kind of where a lot of my focus will be over the next short while, just as it has been over the last year or two, is on the quality of my live performance. Kevin, our lead singer, is pretty active in the recording and videotaping and audio, you know, recording of sessions and concerts and things like that we give. And I just look at those and I go, you know what, I got to sing that better. You know what, I got to play that better. You know what, I have to be ready to really execute the material.
Take it to the next level, that's for sure. Well, thanks, Greg. And I certainly hope that everybody gets the chance to come out and see us play live and see the improvements that Greg makes on his performance as well as the rest of us. Anyways, I'm Fred. This is Greg. Thank you very much, my friend.
All right, Fred.
We'll see you guys down the road. Cheers.
Cheers.